Yeah, I'm Wright Griffith. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I kind of grew up all over the Southeast. He, him pronouns, and my spec is renewable and sustainable energy. Yeah, so I guess last January I was stationed in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and one of my bosses at the time was kind of asking what I was going to do with my future after I got out of my 4-year stint in the Marine Corps, and I had no clue. So I was kind of floored, and I took that as more or less of an order from him, and I majored in history in my undergrad and minored in renewable energy or sustainable energy. So that night I went home and I Googled top renewable energy programs in the US, or just Googled top 25. And I saw that the Masters of the Environment program here in Boulder popped up. It was in the list. I had friends who live in Denver and still live in Denver, and I've always kind of wanted to get out of the Southeast. And then I knew I wanted to go back to school for a little bit, kind of reset before just jumping into another job that I maybe didn't or won't enjoy, because that's kind of where I found myself in the last 4 years. Just kind of working but not getting anything out of it. So it was a good reset, and kind of wanted to reapply myself. So I was lucky enough to find the Masters of the Environment program out here. Yeah, so I was really torn when I first Googled and looked into the program more. I saw the 5 different specs, and I knew I was really torn between sustainability in the outdoor industry and renewable and sustainable energy. And like I said at the time, I'd had just a minor in my undergrad in environmental studies, and I kind of felt and justified it to myself that maybe renewable and sustainable energy was a little bit more encompassing of everything. Like sustainability in the outdoor industry could kind of at times wrap into that, whereas maybe RSE wouldn't fall under the umbrella of sustainability in the outdoor industry. So that's kind of what drew me to that, and then I've since then just kind of been enamored with solar and wind energy, and kind of moving forward with that. Defining moment, yeah, I mean, I would say last semester, kind of as you know, everyone is always constantly doing project work, which is, good or bad, depending on the project or the group. But I think for me, that's been a defining moment because it's helped me branch out a little bit more. I know last semester, everyone had 4 core classes and everyone was doing 4 core projects. So that was, I thought, one, cool to apply yourself a little bit more into what you're actually studying and being able to synthesize it and present it. Especially for Josh Radolph's renewable, it was sustainability or renewable tech, his first semester course. So did a 20-25 minute presentation for that, and my group, we did a really good job on it, and I thought it was just kind of a great way to wrap up the semester, and then just to be able to branch out and be a little bit closer with fellow Masters of the Environment students. Sure. Yeah, so I guess here in Boulder, it's always easy to be able to go out and run or just meet up with friends, get a bite to eat. But then outside of that, obviously, 5 minutes from my front door with my 2 roommates who are both in the soy spec, you have hiking, biking, and backpacking. And if you go further away, you can, as you know, rock climb, camp. I like to hunt when it's in season, fishing as well. So really there's no end to the things you're able to do, which is pretty special. Obviously in the winter time, which has been the last couple of months, there's the skiing and snowboarding, which has been fun, but I realized that that's not really my cup of tea as much as I would have liked. So I'm looking forward to kind of leaning back into the backpacking, hiking, and camping over the summer. 2 answers to that, both with what I'm studying with Josh Radolph's classes. I've really become more enamored with solar energy, how to apply it, the proliferation of it. I know it's kind of an up and coming market in the last 20 years, and I really think there's going to be a niche for it, obviously already out here, but also coming from the Southeast, I feel like there's kind of an endless opportunity in areas where it can be applied, because Southeast is a little bit slower when it comes to just renewable energy as a whole. And then, so that's kind of where I hope I'll end up this time in about a year, but also I'm capstone partnered with XL Outdoors, which is just an outdoor gear company, so to speak, and we're working to help make their product line and manufacturing and shipping just more sustainably streamlined and less impacts to the environment. So depending on how that goes and what I'm able to learn, both with my partners, partnered with 3 soy students, what I learned from them as well as what I kind of take away with XL Outdoors, I could definitely find myself in the Broomfield, Denver, Boulder area afterwards, hopefully working for a kind of a small company or even a larger company helping reduce their GHG impact and their emissions impact. Yeah, that's a good question. I have 2 answers for it. One would be just fellow peers, both inside and outside of the renewable and sustainable energy spec. I have a lot of friends in that spec as well as friends in your spec, the sustainability in the outdoor industry. So there's really no end to, finding someone to talk to at any given day and time. So that's kind of a layup answer. Additionally, do a little shout out, I guess, to my spec lead, renewable and sustainable energy, Joshua Radoff. There's been time, he's about one of the best professors I've ever had, or teachers, or whatever we call them, really. One of the best, teachers I've ever had. Both inside of the classroom with what he's teaching, he's constantly engaged. And then outside of the classroom, there's been times where I guess I've been wearing a face that I'm just kind of slogging through the week or the month, and he's come up to me and asked me, hey, are you doing all right? And I'm just like, long days. Like, no, you look kind of like you've been down for a little bit. So, I mean, that was a big takeaway for me, that the faculty and the staff are also kind of a great resource for us and very supportive of what we're doing now as well as what we're planning on doing in the future. I think just my side of things, in my opinion, show up to the program looking to learn as much as you can, read a lot, engage with your fellow students and the faculty, and definitely work hard in your spec, but then also appreciate where you are. Boulder and Colorado as a whole are very special places. Take time to get outside and enjoy, being with friends or just getting outside in nature and doing your own thing, whether it be hiking or biking or just going and reading a book somewhere in Boulder.